right, what's going on, y'all? Of course, you know who I am, Average Tech Guy, and I just got a retractable cover for the back of my Tesla. It's from TesStudio, and today we're gonna be putting this in, seeing how easy it is to install, and then I'll be telling you whether I like it or not. So let's talk. All right, so first things first, we got to talk about everything that came with this whole setup. You get the actual retractable cover itself, and if I can sit that down for a second, they give you a box of accessories or a little bag. Came in a little box, but it's a little bag inside of a little box. So we have in there, looks like the holders for it. You get some adhesion promoter wipes in there as well, as you can see those. So, let's look up some instructions so we do this the right way. I do want to say I love the original cover that comes in this car. It folds up, it's very easy. It goes down in that trunk compartment, no problems. But I did want something that was more simple, just something I could pull and retract and be done with. So that is why I wanted to get one of these. Then now keep in mind that this will hold a lot of weight. It'll hold books, it'll hold bags, it'll hold coats, jackets, things like that. The retractable one is not gonna be as sturdy as this. So it may still hold a jacket or something very lightweight, papers, a notebook maybe, but I'm not gonna be able to just plop my whole bag on top of there like I've been doing in the previous months. Now, let's talk about all the pieces that came with this, and I'll show you how we're gonna put it in and how we're gonna measure everything. All right, so first thing we wanna do is make sure that we got all of our parts how we want them. So these are the parts, and we're gonna call this, at this point, rear, and this up here, we're gonna call this front. These are the rear pieces, and these are the front pieces. So these are gonna go up on this end. You wanna go ahead and measure this out just before you take any of this tape off. It does have adhesive on the back. Measure it out before you take any of this off. There are grooves in here that are gonna line up with the grooves along the edges. So I did have them in order, but there we go. That one is gonna go on that side. So we're just gonna leave it over here. And then we will measure the other side. This one is gonna go right here. So since I have that seat all the way back, let back, and that one up, we're gonna start on this side. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just interlock, and you gotta make sure you got this right side up. So as of right now, that is right side up. This is the bottom. I'm going to interlock these pieces, just like so, and kind of just get it where I want it to be. And make sure it's nice and straight. And then I'm gonna come around to the other side and do the exact same thing. And then when I have that done, I'm now gonna let this seat up just to make sure it will go all the way back without any issue. And let it back. There we go. So now that seat is all the way back, and we got to make sure we got it exactly straight and how we want it. So once you do all of this, make sure it's a nice fit for where you want it at. Now you can go further back, but you still want to stay within that groove. So remember this groove where it's going to fit at, and if you can see, it just kind of overlaps these little humps. So you want to just come until it's more flush right there. Perfect. And then we'll do the same for the other side. Now remember I said we were gonna call this the actual front piece. So the front piece actually has adhesive on it as well, but it has these little hooks. Once you pull this rubber back, these little hooks will kind of just latch in place under that rubber. And then you just kind of line this up with this groove on the wall right here. And let's make sure we got it. I want to make sure it's like completely locked in, and then we are good to go. So we're just measuring this out first before we take any of that adhesive off. And now I think we're ready to take off the adhesive and lock everything in place. So once you get everything set up, you get it lined up nice and straight, you get your tape pulled off, you get everything on, you get it lined up, everything looks good, how you want it. You pull this down, and then you will, from that point, latch this in here. And now you have a nice leather covering. Now they do make this in canvas, and I think they do have one in carbon fiber that you can go by and check out. But once again, nice and sturdy. I wouldn't put a whole lot of weight up here, but this is something that's going to be nice to cover up. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I do like the original cover that comes with this, but this is something that is just going to make it a whole lot easier. You just and pull and lock, and then you don't have to worry about storage, because if you've seen any of my videos before, I keep a fridge, a mini fridge right down in here. It doesn't allow me to put that cover into the normal storage area that is in that back. So this device is going to allow me to take what was already there as far as a cover that folds up and just put it away somewhere, and then keep my fridge in place and have that retractable to use whenever we are ready, just like so. Now, the only issue that I did, and it's not really an issue, but there is a small gap between the seat and that cover when you have it lifted up. I'll show it to you in the video, but that is probably the only thing that I kind of would have a, not really an issue, but like if I had to give it something negative, that gap, that little gap in between, I really don't like that gap. But other than that, it is a perfect device. It's gonna work for just about anybody. Very easy to install. Probably took me, like, once I looked through everything, I did find one video online. I had to look at that video just to see how he lined everything up. But once I saw how he lined up the first one, I pretty much stopped watching and I just figured it out for myself. But once you line those grooves up, take that adhesive off, you should be good to go. So hopefully this has been able to help someone out. I'm dropping a link below so you can check this out for yourself. Big shout out to TesStudio for sending this out for us to check out and put on the channel. Until next time, Average Tech Guy out. Peace.